Hey, hey, hey. I was trying to get my dog settled down before I come on here. She's been a crybaby as always. Last time I did crime talk, she cried in the background the whole time. Hey, everybody. Hey, cousin, San, Subaru, Warrior Grandma. If I missed anybody, I'm sorry. Fox the Bot, Kay Smiles. Hey, Diva, Tawanda, Valerie, Delaney, Nene. Hey, guys. I don't know where everybody's at. Hey, Truth Matters. Okay, so we're going to talk about Darlie tonight. And I did talk on the phone to a forensic pathologist for a little bit tonight. We're going to talk more later, but I did get a little bit of info. Every time I get on here, it looks like my face is so huge right there. So, okay, let me get my glasses. So, we're going to talk about Darlie, of course, and I took a lot of notes today on that one documentary, Death Row Stories. Hey, Maggie survived it, saying. If I missed anybody, I'm sorry. If I miss y'all's comments under my videos, it is not intentional. If you see me reply to everyone but you, it's because I've missed your comment. It's not intentional. The only comments that I truly ignore is bad comments, and they're deleted, and I don't get many of those. So, okay, so Darlie Lynn. Let's just go back to the beginning. So Darlie Lynn and Darren, they were high school sweethearts. They married when Darlie was 18 and Darren was 20. They had three boys, Devin, Damon, and Drake. Um, Devin was 6. I think Damon was 5, right? And Devin was getting ready to turn 7. And Drake is a baby at the time. They lived in an upscale neighborhood in Dallas. And on June 6th, 1996, we all know that an intruder was, she said an intruder came in and murdered her children. We know that she was indicted for that and later convicted for murdering her kids. Now, is Darlie guilty or innocent? So we're going to look at the facts of the case. So Darlie says that she slept downstairs that night in front of the TV with Devin and Damon. She first says that an intruder woke her up, and then later on she changes her story to Damon woke her up by tapping on her and saying, "Mommy, mommy." And then Darren supposedly runs down stairs after Darlie struggles with the intruder, chases him out the utility room, she claims. And Darren runs downstairs when he hears a glass break and Darlie screaming for his name. And he immediately runs to Devin. And he tries to help Devin, but Devin's got 2 large gaping stab wounds on him. And when he tries to do CPR, blood just comes up out of the wounds. So Darlie claims that she chased the intruder out through the utility room and he drops the knife. She picks it up. But there's evidence that that knife was laid other places. Hi, Dr. Death. So, her story didn't add up. It looked like she had staged the crime scene. There was her bloody footprints in the kitchen and the glass over top of her bloody footprints. Yes, Olivia. Darren's story stays the same, but Darlie's story changed multiple times. Okay, why did Darlie's story change multiple times? Was it because of trauma, or is it because that she's lying? I don't know. I'm confused about this case. The evidence points to her, but what gets me is that Darren failed a polygraph test. I watched it on the documentary today. And the guy that gave the polygraph, uh, he used to be a police officer, so he knowed his stuff, but he thought that Darren was lying and that Darren had something to do with setting up that. And he confronts him about it. Of course, Darren denies it. But then it comes out that, he had a $250,000 life insurance policy on Darlie, and he had also done a insurance scam about a car, and he had wanted to do another insurance thing and have his house broken into. So that right there is very suspicious to me. And then in Darlie's interview that I watched on the documentary today, the reporter asked her, the reporter's telling her, they're talking about the lie detector test or whatever, and the reporter straight out asked her, now, do you think that he could have had something to do with it? And she don't straight out say that, she thinks that. All she says is, kind of makes her wonder. Hi, Deborah. Nene. Did I say hi to Nene, Maggie's girl? I have not seen the one with Susan Sarandon narrating at Foxabot. They said that the knife, from what I saw today, was so deeply embedded in her neck where she had her neck sliced that they had to surgically remove it. And the necklace actually saved her life. If it had been like 2 more millimeters, the cut, she would have died. She would have bled to death from what I understand. Yeah. Now, if you watch the Forensic Files episode about, I think it's called Invisible Intruder. I think that's what the episode's called. If you watch that episode, I mean, it will convince you by the forensics there that she had to do it because there was, it says that there was blood cleaned up off of the cabinet. When they sprayed luminol, you could tell that blood had been on the cabinet and been cleaned up. And also her footprints were right there at the kitchen. They think that she cut her own neck at the kitchen. And, that's why those drops of blood were there. She was standing there bleeding. Did you see that too, Maggie? Girl, Deborah, y'all just don't know how much effort and time I have put into researching this today. Yeah. Like, I would watch the documentary, pause, and take notes. Like, this is all the notes I've taken today. Like, it's a lot. Yeah. Hey, Herbie, I just watched your video. Boy, all kinds of crap goes on YouTube when I'm doing research, right? That's all I'm going to say. Thank you, Deborah. Okay, so let's get back to the case here. Let me think of what I took some notes from the forensic pathologist that I talked to, who is also a profiler. So they know their stuff. And I do have the one report of Damon's autopsy. I don't know if I say that right, but I don't know if you say autopsy or just autopsy. I don't know. I can't say it right. Okay. So one of the things that she pointed out to me is you hear that Devin was impaled by the knife. Now, impaled would actually mean that he would still have an object in him, impaled like, all the way through to the floor. But the knife came out of him, so it's actually not considered impaled, but the knife did go all the way through him, and he had 2 gaping holes. I mean, it is gruesome, y'all. It's kind of hard to talk about considering that I have a son. I'm a mom. Another thing that goes against Darlie is she had the boys drops of blood on the back of her nightgown, and the prosecutors think that is because when she's over top of them, stabbing them, and she's using great force because, like, this was a personal attack on these boys were brutally, brutally murdered, and it really looks like a personal attack. But there was great force, and when she would come up, or ever who did it, the blood would get on the back of her. That's why they say those drops of blood was on her. Now, I've always thought to myself, now, if she didn't do this, if she was laying on the couch asleep, and let's say someone was murdering like Devin, could the blood have got on her, while they were asleep on her back? I guess it would be according to how she was laying on the couch. Y'all get what I'm saying? Yeah, it chipped the floor, Maggie. But when I was talking to the forensic pathologist, when I was asking if Devin was impaled, she explained to me what impaled actually means. Now, the knife did go all the way through his body to the floor, but impaled would actually mean an object was still, all the way through you, if you get what I mean. See, there is a lot of things that I am learning about Darlie that I didn't know before about Darlie's past history. And actually, Darlie has quite a history. I've only found out this one little thing right now, but I'm going to be talking more to my detective friend here. And Darlie actually, when her and Darren were dating in high school, Darlie actually lied to him and told him that she was kidnapped. Yes, now I don't know the whole story about this, but this was just a little bit of information that they shared with me that you don't hear on the documentaries or really anyone bring up. Um, but she had lied, I don't know why, to Darren and said that she was kidnapped, had a kidnapping story. I'm going to try to find out more about that incident. Um, so that don't look good for her. But I don't know. She could have been trying to get his attention. She could have been a young, dumb kid. Just, I don't know. But I was told that. Yeah, a Wahi Ranger. Attention seeking. Yes, Nene. She must have been trying to get his attention. And another thing, a Wahi Ranger, the boys were brutally stabbed. Why didn't the killer stab her like that? She had like a cut here, and I know she had some stabs, but why didn't the killer stab her like he did those poor innocent boys? Now, that don't make sense to me. I don't think there ever was an intruder. There was two people in that house, and I think one of them did it. One of them had to have did it. That's the only thing that I could figure out. I mean, when you watch Darlie, you wouldn't think she would do something like that. So I don't know. I don't know if it's the husband. It kind of points that way to me. But these are just theories. I don't know if Darlie's innocent or guilty, but I do know that the girl deserves a new trial. For number one, the court analyst messed up the court transcripts and then pled the fifth. And so did the two detectives pled the fifth too. So that is shady to me. And plus, they couldn't identify that fingerprint. They exhumed the boys' bodies, but they really couldn't get a good fingerprint off the boys because they had their hands, crossed when they were buried. And maybe they had started decomposing or something, so they really couldn't get good prints. But even though they couldn't get good prints, you could still match prints by DNA, I learned today. So it didn't match the boys, and it doesn't match Darlie or Darren or the paramedics or the police. So that right there, she should at least get a new trial. because something's shady. When you've got the court reporter uh, not doing her job in court, and here they find it out, and then she takes the fifth, pleads the fifth on it, and won't answer anything. Now that's shady as crap. That is shady. Yes, why the children first, cousins? I know you're talking to Daisy, but why kill? I mean, I don't know. The more I get into this case, guys, the more I'm confused. I thought I was going to come on here tonight and have, not be so indecisive going back and forth between innocence and guilt, but I just don't know. All I know really is I think she should deserve a new trial. And ever who killed these boys, I mean, they need to have justice. I mean, God bless their little hearts. I couldn't imagine. Um, her new lawyer that was on the documentary, seems to think that the silly string convicted her. I went back and I watched that silly string video, and I would stop it when Darlie was talking about, she's talking to the news reporter, and she's saying, we tried to save our babies' lives, and didn't we, Darren? And she looks over at Darren with her eyes. She don't really turn her head all the way. She kind of just looks over. So I went back and I'd stop it and I'd go back and watch it and go back and watch it. And there was something odd about that to me. I don't know. But she looked over at him and just the way she was saying that, I don't know. There was something off about that. It didn't seem natural. It didn't seem natural. Yeah. Now they did need to have a memorial service. Yeah, and Darlie was crying during the memorial service. But then after the memorial service, her sister brought that silly string and stuff, and a lot of people thought that was odd the way that Darlie was smacking her chewing gum, and I've heard that she was stepping on the graves and laughing and this and that. I've heard she was also on Xanax that day. So, I don't know. Darlie did take a lie detector test, and they never gave the results of it. The defense didn't release that. I do know that. Maybe, Tawanda. Good point, Tawanda. She couldn't, could she? Well, that would make sense, Tawanda. Maybe she couldn't turn her head to him that day. I didn't think about that. Thanks for pointing that out to me. People grieve differently, Nene, and I said that when I was talking about Darlie before videos. Now, people react different to trauma. They really do. I mean, she could have been on nerve pills. She would have had to been on something. I mean, like witnessing something like that brutal, but people react different to different situations. I don't know I don't know, Maggie. I guess it would be depending on the person with Xanax. I mean, I witnessed a suicide, and 7, 8 days later, I was in no shape to talk to anyone. Yeah, I was locked in my bedroom, so I don't know. I do know that I do have a little bit of memory problem recalling that evening. Not the events that led up to it, but the actual moment. I do have a little bit of blur in my memory. And I think that's because I just completely lost it and started screaming. Now, I don't know, I know people, like Nene said, you can't judge people, you shouldn't judge her by the silly string thing, but it's hard not to as a human being and mom, because most people wouldn't react that way. But, I know people have celebrations of life and stuff when people die. Maybe that was their way of doing it. Tawanda, that's the only conclusion I can come up with either, honey, is that she needs a new trial, because I don't know. Sometimes I think she's innocent. Sometimes I think she's guilty. I just know there's something not right with that. She's either covering from him for him or something went on. Now, I almost forgot. I asked the person I was talking to on the phone, the forensic pathologist, what about the bruises on her arm? How did Darlie get those bruises on her arm? Because her arm was bruised really bad. And she had a good theory. She said because when she was stabbing the boys, they were fighting her back, kicking her. And if you're even a kid to kick you really hard, just imagine a kid kicking you, trying to fight for their life. It would bruise you that way. Now, that is what really gets me about this case is the bruising on her arm. I mean, that would have been hard for her to have made those bruises on her own. Yes, maybe I could get my friend to come on maybe Google Hangout. She may not want to show her face. I don't know. And explain a little bit about the bruises and maybe the kid's autopsy report or something, if she would. Tawanda, we didn't get to discuss a whole lot about it because I called her at about 8:30 and I was doing this video at 9:30, so we didn't get to get into all of that, but we are going to. Yeah, Nanny, he failed a lie detector test, and the guy that gave the polygraph, he really thought Darren had something to do with setting up that night. I mean, if you go and watch, the link to the video that I was watching today is in the description. I did put it today when I set this up. Robin says, the bruises to me point to guilt. I hate to say that. Robin, you're free to say what you want. We all can give our opinions. Crap. They correct me all the time. I don't care. We can give our opinions and y'all can correct me. Side by side would be nice. Yeah, I'll ask her about that. Now, she may not want to show uh, her face because uh, she has a really, really important job. Not only is she a forensic pathologist, but she is also a profiler. Yeah, she can profile people. And she's just trying to help me out a little bit so I can explain things a little bit better to you guys. And she's an awesome person, too. She's a country girl, too. Yeah, okay, Twanda. Good question. But if she was on top of the boys, how could they kick her? Well, let's think about this for a minute. I guess it would just be according to whatever position she was in. They may be able to still kick her arm if she was over top of them. I mean, from what my friend explained to me, that is very possible that they could have fought her back and that could explain the bruises. Now, that was just a theory. Let me go back out and see if she can't just put up a photo of anything. No, no, she can't. I'm making sure I was reading y'all's comment. Yeah, okay, Kim. That was about the jewelry you commented. Yeah, they said that she was very concerned when the cops got there, about her jewelry, and I find that odd. Now, I've heard people say that she wasn't concerned about her jewelry, but according to the prosecutor, she was. Okay, Tawanda says they said they straddled them with the blood splatter, so that doesn't make sense. Okay, well, it might not, Tawanda. How do you think she got those bruises, Tawanda? Yeah, Robin, those bruises get me. I mean, how did she get those bruises? If you look at the picture of her arm is freaking black. You know? I mean, I know some people bruise easy. Okay, Herbie, tell the baby good night for us. Bless her heart. Chronic pain. I can't imagine someone cutting their own throat. If she did that, she about killed herself. The only thing that saved her was her necklace. Her necklace saved her from that artery being totally, like, I guess, nicked or cut in two. I'm not sure. But they said like 2 more millimeters and she would have been a goner. The nurse said she was not bruised at the hospital. See, saying I thought that I saw a picture of her in her hospital gown showing the bruises. Hey, Bella. Let me see. Someone says the bruises. The bruises have 0 finger marks. Now, Olivia, I have been trying to think to myself, if she did put those bruises on her, how did she do it? How did she bruise herself like that? And if she was doing all that crap downstairs, how come he didn't hear her? I mean, I don't know. According to forensic files, she waited till everyone was fast asleep. Well, of course, that's how it happened anyways. Everyone was asleep, supposedly, when it happened. Dr. Death. Many cases in capital crime when self-injury, including cutting one's throat, usually there would be hesitation marks, but not always. And I do believe that one of the doctors thought that she self-inflicted those on herself. Yeah. So I don't know. And then let's see. Let me find my notes here. See what the defense doctor said about that because I can't remember, but I do remember writing it down. Okay. One of the defense doctors said that she suffered from amnesia, and the other doctor said that her injuries were not self inflicted. Well, Nene, I don't know if Bruce is taking a day or two because let me tell y'all what happened to me. Sonny bit me. Sonny bit the crap out of me this afternoon. I don't know what was wrong with that rooster, but I mean, you might not be able to see it. Sonny bit me right there. You can't really see the bruising around it here on camera, but I promise you, there is a little bruise and a puff mark here. That's how fast it it started. I mean, yeah, Sonny bit me. It was not fun. Not fun. Yeah. So let's see if I can. That little mark right there, see? He bit the crap out of me. It hurt too. It did. I didn't think a chicken bite would hurt. I never been bit by a chicken. I come outside and had a little bag of feed with me. That feed, special bird feeds for like cockatiels and stuff. And Sonny likes that better than a chicken feed. I come outside with it this afternoon. He was on the porch and he come running up to me with his neck feathers puffed out. And I was like, "Whoa, Sonny, calm down." And I was getting some of that feed out and I was going to throw it down. And he went, "Come and bit the shit out of me." And then let me tell you what he did. Then he still kept coming towards me like he was charging with his neck feathers. Uh, now, now look, me and Sonny had a little disagreement today. And I guess he's still mad over it. All I was doing was trying to clean his chicken poop up off my porch, and I was pouring water on the rail. Hell, he was on the other rail, way away from me. And Sonny got mad about that today and left. I'm not joking. We had a disagreement. That damn Tilly story. Yeah, Deba. It was that Tilly story I told on the porch. I got that story mixed up last night. Yeah. Damn, my dots still don't work on here. Reckon, Nene, he was trying to mate with me? I said, Sonny, I am ashamed of your behavior. And he was just like buzzing up at me. I was on the phone with somebody when it happened, actually. Somebody that's in the chat was on the phone with me when I got bit. Oh, Nene, thank you. Yeah, me and Sonny's going to have a long talk about this tomorrow morning. Look, I think he was a little bit aggravated, but he was acting aggressive about the food or something. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to quit hand feeding him. Now, you can get sick from chickens. I'm not sure if a chicken biting you can get you sick, but I know someone left me a comment about chicken feces can make you sick. Okay, back to, yeah, that blue robe turns him out, Kim. Oh, really, Bella? Ducks charge at you? You know, geese are meaner than shit. Now, there's some geese down the road from me. There's these people that's got a pond. And they got some geese, and they are mean. He must have been hungry, chronic pain. Hey, Abby, Auntie. I miss him, buddy. Hey. Yeah, Fox about a lot of it can make you sick. Salmonella. Yeah, Abby. That's why I was trying to rinse the porch off, and I had my big flower watering thing, and he got mad as hell and flew off the porch, and he wasn't even around me. It's not like he got wet or anything. He just got mad about it. Damn men. Damn, you can't do nothing for men. They always get mad. Hey, Wahi Ranger, I know I'm scared of Sonny sometimes. I'm afraid Sonny will get me in the face with his big talons and stuff, or whatever you call them. Oh, really? It'd take a swimming pool of chicken poop to get. Well, I didn't know. Someone left me a comment and said that you could. They was just warning me about it. Because I am bad to go out there barefooted, but I try not to, step in Sonny's poop. I always try to clean it up every day. Yeah, I'm not going to eat the poop. Oh, Deborah, you driving again? Be careful. Maybe you didn't understand why a flower was leaking water. Yeah, chronic pain. He really got mad about me uh, rinsing off the porch railing where he gets up there and poops. He was way on the other side of the porch too. So, and then he's been pissed ever since. So, huh. Yeah, I think he's getting territorial or something about the porch. I mean, he's never acted like that towards me. Oh, Ozzy, I'm sorry. I hope it's better, the magpie. Okay, yeah, let's get back to the case. And Kim saying true care, the glasses on top of the blood. Yeah, I have also thought that maybe Darren came down, realized she had murdered the kids, and they fought. And that's how the glass got on top of her bloody footprints, and that's how her arm got bruised. But that's just a theory. It's not a very good one. Yeah, her feet didn't get cut on the glass, Maggie. It's weird to me. Yeah. Now, Robin, I took it into consideration about all the chaos that went on that night with the police department and stuff, and they could have kicked that evidence around. Um, they said they had one of the police guys that takes the photos and stuff. Like, they was going through there taking photos before evidence had been gathered, and they contaminated evidence. Now, this is all just stuff that, I've heard from the documentary. Ozzy, are you going to take her to the vet? Yeah, Karen, she was barefooted. Looks, I don't know. All I know is that it looks like to me that there's enough evidence to get her a new trial. Now, as a woman and a mother, I want to believe this woman's innocent. But you can't just ignore all the forensics either, on the other hand. You know? I'm just so confused about it. I go back and forth, back and forth. I just think she needs a new trial. You know, there needs to be justice, real justice beyond a shadow of a doubt for those two little boys. I cannot imagine losing my children at all, but losing them like that. Two kids in one night, brutally murdered. I mean, it just. And when you watch Darlie, she's just like as sweet as pie. You wouldn't think, you know, that she would be capable of that. But I don't know. I'm going to be talking to my friend, and I'm going to get her to give me her opinion, profile Darlie and Darren. And we'll discuss it on here, what she says, if she'll do it for me. And I think she will. We talked about it. Well, I just don't think with all the two detectives pleading the fifth and the court reporter, she messed up the court transcripts and stuff. She pleaded the fifth. If you're going to put somebody to death, you know, you need to be 100% sure that they did it. And with these people pleading the fifth, that looks shady to me, guys. That just looks shady. Are you going to put somebody to death and the cops are pleading the fifth about the case and the court reporter? I mean, I'm not taking up for Darlie. I don't know if she murdered them or not. And I'm not saying that she's guilty either. But something is not right about this case, and it don't take a genius to figure that out. Hi, Darren. How are you? Is that why they pled the fifth? Why he rager? Because uh, recording at the gravesite without a warrant. Well, I thought I asked Brian St. John about that, or something. I could be wrong, but I thought he told me that it was done legal. But I could be wrong. If he watches this, he can correct me in the comments. New trial, yeah. I think we all agree that we don't know if she's guilty or innocent, but I think that we all can see that something shady is here and that the woman deserves at least a new trial. You're going to put somebody to death and you don't know 100% if they did it. It doesn't look like, you know, that they know without a shadow of a doubt that she did this. And I hope and pray that they take another look at this case before they do something to that woman. Because, I mean, what if she didn't do this? If she's been on death row all this time and they put her to death, if she really didn't do it. Like, I think about things like that. And I also think about what if she really did do this? You know, I just go back and forth, but there's just something there that tells me that there's just more to the story. Hey, Robbie, are you okay tonight, Darren? I know, Vicky. That's what I'm wondering about is the DNA. Now, I have watched some shows, and they've been able to go back uh, and reanalyze like older DNA, and then at times they've tried to do it, and it was just like too degraded, and stuff. I'm going to find out more about this DNA stuff from my friend. We didn't have long to discuss this case tonight because she works a lot and I was busy this afternoon and I just got to call her about like 8:30 and talk to her for about 30 minutes. Let me, Patson girl, I didn't even see what you said. Oh, I got a good thing about the sock robin. I'll get to you just a second. VA Aussie. Let me find my comment. They say the forensics won't lie, but why would she be bruised like that? I know. I know, Patson girl. I know. I'm sorry if I'm missing anybody's comment. Does she have a decent lawyer? Um, I think she may have a decent lawyer now, Chronic Pain Stinks, but I know that her trial lawyer was a very like uppity up lawyer, supposed to be really good. But there was a lot of things that he could have done different with Darlie's case. You know, he could have stopped some things from happening if he tried. Muffin Mouse, hey. Karen, that has bothered me too. And I think you've pointed that out to me before that neither one of them in the interviews would say, find my children. Now, I haven't paid attention too much to that until you pointed it out to me, but I'm going to go back and look at those interviews and see if they say anything like that because that would be strange to me too, Karen. There's just so many documentaries and just like so many interviews and things that you miss them and you forget things. But I am Karen. I'm gonna pay attention. I'm gonna go back and watch those interviews. And I mean, I know you're not lying. I take your word for it, but I want to see for myself if they say anything like that. Like I want, to find the murderer or whatever. That husband is shady as hell. Yeah. I mean, I look at him and I don't see a killer either. He seems like a nice guy. And I mean, I know he done that insurance crap and was trying to get another one done, but I mean, they just look like a normal people to me, like a normal couple. Thank you, Nanny. Oh yeah, Tawanda. Yeah. They did offer her a plea deal of life in prison, and she wouldn't take it. And as they did walk her to death row, they asked her, for a statement or whatever. And she said, "I didn't kill my babies." I do remember that. Thank you, Tawanda. I do remember that one. I forget things, so I need y'all to remind me. When y'all put stuff in the chat, then it makes my brain click and I remember. Oh, really? Chronic pain? We had a similar incident in a few towns over from me when I was little. A man killed all of his children and his wife and a bunch of family members also. I gathered photos of my videos. Oh, really, Robin? Yeah, normal people with money problems living above their means. And the prosecutors stress that. They painted Darlie as materialistic, narcissistic. Basically, the prosecutor painted her like a temptress. And to me, man, I just felt like that prosecutor. I've seen him in several interviews speaking about her looks and stuff, and they're just I don't know. It's like he had something against her being pretty or something. Nene, my hubby is in there watching something on the news about a shooter. I don't know. I didn't have time to ask him what was going on because I had to come in here. Yeah, it's just sad about the kids. Yes, I have watched Brian's video with the phone call to Darren's mom. Um, it's when I first discovered Brian's channel, so I need to go back and watch it again. Yeah. Yeah, Karen. I do remember that now. In the interview, she did say something about she wanted to find out who did that to her kids. Yeah, Vicky, you never know what's going through someone's mind or, what they're planning. You just never know. Do you really ever know anyone? You begin to think that. You can look at the photos and see a few lies they told. Really, Robin? Comments are behind for some reason. Well, Maggie, the woman on the documentary I watched today, Darren's aunt was on there, and her name is Sandy. I have her last name here somewhere. But even she had to admit, Darren's her nephew, but she had to admit that, yes, it's went through her mind before that Darren could have had something to do with this because of the lie detector that he felt. And actually, Darren's aunt is the one that got in touch with. There's this guy that's a millionaire that helps people. He's for the death penalty, but he does help kind of exonerate people. So his aunt turned to his last name is Pardo. I can't. Let me see if I wrote down his first name. But anyways, his name is Pardo, and Darren's aunt got in touch with him, to kind of help with the case. Well, Pardo hires an investigator to investigate uh, Darren and finds out some shady stuff. So Darren takes a lie detector test and flunks. And the polygraph examiner knows it. But his aunt is the one that got in touch with this Pardo guy trying to help exonerate Darlie. But in fact, it just made Darren look bad and it brought out a lot of shady things about Darren. And his own aunt says in the interview, yeah, it made her think maybe it could be possible he could be involved, but she said knowing him, you know, he don't seem capable of doing it. I mean, I don't blame Darlie. I mean, can you imagine you're in prison and then your husband takes a lie detector test 18 months later? I think it's like 18 months later or whatever, flunks it. All this crap comes out that you didn't know about. And then you're, like Darlie said, you're sitting there thinking, I don't know this person. Who is this person? She seemed to be shocked about some of the things that come out about her husband. And she also did say in the interview, they straight out asked her if she thought that he had something to do with it. And she didn't come straight out and say, yeah, but she said, yeah, it makes you think. She did. I went back and watched it twice. So I would love for someone to solve this case and say without a shadow of a doubt and prove it. Like she's innocent or she's guilty. And just find out who did this to those little boys. Because it was a very, very brutal Brutal murders. Patrick, sub to you, please. What a cute little doggy picture, Patrick. I will sub to you when I get off my live video. What kind of channel do you have, Patrick? And is that a beagle? I have a beagle. You're trying to grow? Okay, I don't care to help you. Love your profile picture. It's very cute. I think that's a beagle. I have a beagle. Yeah, we'll support you. Yeah, that's what anything for views. I think about that too. She had to know something, but she seemed to not know. He could have kept the money issues from her. He knows she liked nice things and living a high life, and he had made her accustomed to that kind of lifestyle. Maybe he didn't tell her about the financial problems. Oh, is that your dog, Henry? Oh, Henry is so cute. I have a beagle named Skylar. She's got blue eyes, and I got another beagle, border collie mix, a schnauzer, and a Yorkie. Oh yeah, Chronic Pain has a good channel too. Chronic Pain Stinks. She's got a good channel. She couldn't kill the baby with Darren in the summer. Delilah, is that how you say that? Delilah Griffith. I've often wondered, why wasn't the baby killed? But it was upstairs. He was upstairs with Darren, so couldn't get to him. But what if he hadn't have been upstairs? Would he have been spared, or would he have been murdered? Oh, you're welcome, Patrick. You're very welcome. We try to support people. We try to support good people. I support as many channels as I can. Oh, yeah. Back to the sock. I got sidetracked. I was going to answer someone's question about the sock. And my friend that I talked to on the phone had a good theory about this. She thought that the sock could have been attached to Darren. When Darren ran across the street to get his neighbor that was a nurse to get help for the boys, the sock could have been attached to him and fell off. Now, that was her theory. Crime scene was staged, Karen. That's what they say. It was staged. I've often thought it was staged to make Darlie look guilty. I have thought that too. I dropped my pen. I hit my printer. I know, Pats and Girl. I wonder that too. Why would the killer stab and stab those boys? It was a personal killing. You could tell. You could tell by the way that they were murdered that was a very personal attack. Funeral was $120,000. Really, Kim? I don't know, Nene. Good question. I don't know. Could have been staged for a robbery. Yeah, Damon was still alive. And then it said on the documentary that when the paramedics tried to do CPR on Damon, after they did it the first time, then he took a breath and died. Now, that's what I watched today. Now, if that's not true, I apologize, but that's what was on that documentary. Now, the boys couldn't have been left alive or they would have pointed out the murderer. That's what I think too, Robin. 75 feet from the house, Karen, is where the sock was at. We're going to discuss this more on the phone, and that was just a theory about the sock of how it could have got there, because even if Darlie supposedly put that sock there, ran it out there before she cut her own neck, That is like the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. Why would she do that? It don't make sense to me. It's things like that that don't make sense. It's things like that that sometimes make me think that this was staged to make this woman look guilty. Or maybe Darlie wasn't supposed to survive that attack. I've thought that before, so I go back and forth. You think the police planted it so that they could... Hey, that's a good theory, Twanda. Someone bought up that killer that came and stabbed the kids but forgot his name. Yeah, he crawled to the wall to escape the attack. Yeah, Robin. One of the little boys did. Yeah, I don't know, Nene, why people do what they do. You could sit and try to figure out these cases. I did this with Chris Watts, but I didn't share it with all you guys because I didn't have my channel then. But I would watch stuff and take notes and try to figure out why he did that and how he did that and how he killed Shanann and which girls were killed first. Were they killed before Shanann? I used to try to figure out all that and what would make him do that. And I just couldn't figure it out because I'm not a psychopath like him. I don't know what made him do that. Psychopath, I guess that's what you call him. She had baby blues, you think? Yeah, good point, Karen. Good point. See, those things right there, Karen, is what gets me. Like, why would someone brutally stab them like that? But how come she didn't have that? But there could be reasons for that. I mean, he could have not had time to done it to her. Psychopath is correct. Thanks, Foxbot. What is the difference between a psychopath and a sociopath, guys? Do y'all know? I don't. I don't know the difference between a psychopath and a sociopath. I don't know the difference. Let me see what this stupid dog wants. Gosh almighty, she drives me insane. I better unhook my charger, hadn't I? Have y'all guys ever noticed that every time I'm on here for about an hour, then my dog comes in and starts whining? What do you want, baby? What do you want? Go outside? Let me let her out. No, lady. Oh my gosh, guys, it's cold. I'm in my nightgown. It's cold as crap out here. Please don't drop my Chromebook off the rail. She just wants to go out and bark at the rain. Yeah, every time I'm on here for about an hour, she'll give me about an hour of freedom. Then she starts. So. Yeah, she is definitely jealous of Sonny, Kim. And plus, Skylar, you can ask my hubby, she just cries a lot. I mean, she communicates like that. I mean, she cries all day long. And sometimes it does get annoying. It really does. The last time I tried to do crime talk, she whined the whole time in the background. And I was so annoyed the last time we discussed this case when I got off of my live. Because she just cried the whole time in the background. And you can hear that crap. It is annoying. So, sociopath is less severe than a psychopath. Psychopaths are often called... Sociopaths are also called psychopaths. Oh, so they do share traits. Antisocial personality disorders generally considered less severe than psychopaths. Yeah, they're both dangerous. A psychopath crazy with violent tendencies would be Sunny, but you're right. You're right. This has been a good discussion tonight, guys. No, I know we can't just keep discussing Darlie every night. No, we're going to have to get us another case to discuss too. See, I wanted to do Karen's. You mentioned Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy is like, I've been obsessed with him. Like, just, about his story, And plus, he was executed like, I think on January 24th, 1989. And I remember that because it was around my birthday. My birthday is the 23rd. So I've always liked Ted Bundy, and I wanted to talk about Ted Bundy, but Scott Reich had just talked about him, but we can still talk about him. Oh, Ozzy, I do that all the time. My hubby sidetracks me and my dogs. Yes, we need to talk about Ted. I'm going to do some research on him, so I can have my notes and do my homework. I know a lot about him, but sometimes when I get on my videos and stuff, I forget things. So, yes. What is that called, Karen, when they have sex with the dead bodies? Necrophilia? Necrophiliacs. Thank you, Kim. He said that Ted Bundy said that he would he would kill those women, and then like the next day be like, "Oh my God, what have I done?" And he also jokes in an interview about how he would throw evidence out the window, like handcuffs and stuff, because he would get paranoid. And he said, yeah, he would get mad at himself because he would have to go buy handcuffs every time, he wanted to kill a girl. I know a lot about Jeffrey Dahmer, Robbie. Yeah, he'd ate your ass up, Robbie. Oh, Robbie, he was cracking me up. He was doing a video the other day, and he was like, "Yeah, I used to try to breastfeed my stuffed animals, but it was just the way he said it. Like he was talking so nice and stuff, and then all of a sudden he says that, and it cracked me up. He breastfed his stuffed animals when he was little. It was a joke. You're so funny. Robbie, I didn't know that video you commented on today was off of private. And I put it back on private because I put some videos on private today that involved that cancer crap because I want that crap off my channel. It's negative and I just don't want it. Not why he ain't Ranger. I hope I say that right. Oh, why he Ranger. Good night. Thank you for chatting with us. Oh my God, Deborah. Y'all should have been here with me when I was watching Pink last night. Like I was cracking up so loud. It was not even funny. I got smoke, y'all. Yeah, this was a good chat. Like I love chatting with y'all and hearing all y'all's information and stuff and hearing y'all's opinions. Amanda, was you there? Oh my God, it was so funny. I went in there. I swear I did. I went there. I asked my husband, I said, you know, men have a G spot. He was like, what the hell are you watching? Oh, I've been aggravating him about that. I didn't know that, guys. I didn't know that. Leanne says sex kills. Yeah. Good night, Nene. Sweet dreams. No, Ozzy, I didn't pass his. Hell no. God, no. So tomorrow's my 33rd anniversary. Happy anniversary, Chronic Pain. That's a long time. I think my granny and papa were married maybe 35 years when he passed away. Who y'all talking about? It's got a weird face, Stan. Yeah, it is a long time. Yeah, what y'all gonna do for your anniversary? Y'all gonna get romantic? Make him take you out to dinner? Vicky, I know a lot about John List. Is it List or List? Yeah, he killed his whole family, Vicky, and they didn't find the bodies for a long time. He laid them out in a room, turned the air conditioning down real, um, so it would keep the bodies cold. Oh, Darren, you're fine, honey. You're fine. We're just chit chatting. Uh, I was trying to think how to pronounce his name. John. It's John. Is it List? John List. John List. I thought it was Lisp or something, but it's List. Yeah, I've watched several documentaries about him. I watched the movie about him, and it took them a long time to find him. He had to be on America's Most Wanted to get caught. One says pretrial is February 18th. Oh, y'all have separate rooms? Well, there's nothing wrong with that. So did my granny and papa. They didn't sleep in the same room. My granny couldn't sleep in the same bed with him because like he tosses and turns and snores. So they had separate bedrooms. A lot of people do that. Let me see if I've missing comments up here. Diva says, I got yelled at LO. I have Furby. Yeah. Sometimes I miss the comments and I scroll back up and I still can't see them. Oh, Darren, was you on the phone with her? Yeah, we're rooting for a new trial. Just because we discuss the evidence and we might say it points to her and stuff, it don't mean we've come up with a decision if we think she's guilty or innocent. But we definitely have come up to the conclusion that she needs a new trial. So, damn cell service. Hey, my Wi-Fi goes in and out here, Robbie, sometimes if the wind blows. Oh, she don't got phone privileges? Like what? Why? That's stupid that they won't let them call home. That's not right. That's what I say. What if that girl's innocent? She sat on death row for so long, had all her privilege. That would be terrible. Um, it'd be great if the truth could come out, the real truth. New trial, Robin. We're for a new trial. Yeah, Foxbot, tell us your voodoo story. Darren says she's innocent. Be. She could be. Never know. What is that, Twanda? We need some candy vape now. Y'all vape. Bye, Ozzy. See you next time, honey. Have a good night. Oh, I bet, Darren. I bet you know a lot. You got the inside info, man. We're having to judge from documentaries and talk to forensic pathologists and everything to figure this out. You already got the details. No, you don't vape or smoke, Maggie? Well, I sure do. I smoke like a freight train. Ooh, I bet that tastes good, Deborah. Tawanda, fried green tomato. Hey, Diva, there was a girl named Tawanda in the fried green tomatoes movie, weren't there? Sit back and eat your popcorn. I can't wait till all this plays out and the real truth comes out. Hey, somebody's gonna be in trouble if they exonerate that woman. They find her innocent. They're gonna be paying her lots and lots of money. But the money can't replace what, has already been lost. Can't replace her children, can't replace the time. But yes, the amazing Amazon woman, Twana. Do you, Robbie, use oatmeal cookie flavor? Really? To vape? Tawanda, Vicky said. Yeah, DJ, that smells, or sounds like it would smell good. I love Cowboy Killers. I've not watched that, Delilah. Uh, I love that movie too, Maggie. I cried when that boy gets run over on the train track when he gets his shoes stuck at the beginning of the movie. I cried my eyes out. Kim, CC, and John. Who is Kim? Who are you talking about, Robin? I heard somebody talking about a Kim today that's got a YouTube channel, and I don't know who that is. Yeah, Maggie, I cried for that too. Yeah, Tawanda was Iggy in the movie. Yeah. She wrote above. Are you talking about my Kim? My moderator Kim? Me and Kim's Cagney and Lacey. We've done decided that we're Cagney and Lacey. Oh, the John I scared to death? Oh, yeah. I remember him now, Kim. Does he got a channel? Yeah. Did you watch that documentary saying about Jack the Ripper and and it had the ancestor of that Holmes guy that was the serial killer? What's his name? Y'all know the Holmes guy. H. Holmes. Thank you, Samara. He's still in therapy for when I cussed him out. I thought he was calling me a bitch, but he said, "You're a bitch." He said, "You bitch." But he meant she was a bitch, but I cussed him out. And then I had to say, "Oh my God, I'm sorry." Yeah, Robbie, you like eating them apples? Here's another one, Robbie. Smoke that in your pipe. When you tell somebody off, say, "Smoke that in your pipe, buddy." Here's you another saying, Robbie. If you ever want rid of somebody, say, "Kick rocks. Kick 'em hard." I always like to say this when I tell somebody off. "Now smoke that in your pipe, buddy." That's what I like to say. Or, "Hey, you like them apples?" Robbie probably pretends to be trolls just so I'll cuss. I'm just kidding, Robbie. I know you would do that. Thank you, Olivia. Robin, I use this. Well, tonight I have on Maybelline Fit Foundation. As you can see, I'm experiencing a little breakout in some lines here. But I use Maybelline Fit. I'll show you what I use. And cocoa butter lotion, or sometimes I use coconut oil under my eyes because I have circles. That's what I use. It's by Maybelline. It's called Fit. But sometimes I do use this, and it's airbrush. But to be honest with you, the Maybelline's better than the airbrush. Undercover troll, Robbie, I know that. I know that. You just want me to cuss you out. Oh, Robbie, anytime you want me to cuss you out just for a laugh, call me. I'm just kidding. Robbie's awesome. He is a real genuine person. He jokes around a lot, but he's a real good person. Oh, really? Chronic pain stinks. Hey, Missouri, people in Missouri, I guess I'm saying it right. Missouri. I don't know how to say it. But, they're probably just country people. I don't have lip gloss on, Delilah. I'll show you what I have on. Chapstick. That's all I have on. I swear. I didn't put no lip gloss on. I put this on my lips. Candy cane chapstick. Thank you, guys. Make me feel good. Good night, Robbie. Be safe at work, please. We love you. Thanks for being my mod. Thanks to all my moderators. You can't run your channel without your moderators, especially when you do live videos. Yeah, girls, I'll show you what I use. That's the lotion I use on my face. Now, I do have this one stuff. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know if I can find it, but it comes in a little bottle at Walmart, and it's back there, like where they sell shampoo. And it's just coconut oil. It's called Hollywood something, but it's just pure coconut oil, and it is really good. To, like if you got dry skin or dark circles, it helps. Yeah, we only have one life. That is chapstick from Christmas. It is. That's all I put on. I was looking for my clear. I had some little clear kind of glitter lip gloss, and I couldn't find it, and I just grabbed that chapstick. You need the coconut oil, Dava. If you can't find it there, I'll send you some. Since we talk and stuff on the phone, I'll send you some. Okay, guys, I'm going to end this live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight and talking about the case. I really appreciate that. Maggie, what'd you say? Oh, really, Maggie? You're not supposed to use that on your face? Hey, Shashid. Yeah, I didn't know you weren't supposed to use that on your face, Maggie. Thank you for telling me that. I'm going to get me some good face cream. Girls, I tried this stuff, a sample bottle. It was by Estee Lauder. It was some kind of serum for wrinkles. Anyways, these lines in my forehead were going away when I was using that. And when I quit using it, they come back. But that stuff really works. I think it's like overnight serum or something, but it's by Estee Lauder. But anyways, good night, everybody. I love y'all so much. Thank you for joining me. I'll probably see y'all in the morning. Thanks to the moderators. And if I missed anybody in the chat, I'm sorry. Leave me a comment or email me or something. Bye, guys. Love you. Bye, Kim, and all my moms. Thanks, y'all.